Robin.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. On the virus. Sirius-XM.
Well, you should be doing book signings with that. You should literally be doing book signings. That's great.
Great pictures in here. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's a color book. It's
what kind of pictures in there, Jimmy? I can't.
Yeah,
we only have
movie
one
stills.
copy of the book.
That's the south of France. With
wow.
her. That's my little 5-year-old Luke.
Yeah, you got like
Cool Hand Luke. He calls himself Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah,
self-proclaimed Cool Hand Luke.
No, he has a Cool Hand Luke poster on his wall, and he recognized, his name Luke, and I said, "It's Cool Hand Luke." So now, and he said, "What's your name?" He goes, "Cool Hand Luke." He can't. He's going to try to eat 50 eggs, but
yeah,
I hope he doesn't.
That's a tough order.
Some great shots in there.
No, he's a cool little guy. He's actually, he's charming. He's pretty funny at 5. He dislocated my jaw the other day.
How'd that happen?
I was in a hotel, and he was there with me and his mom, and I had one of those bungee cords that you exercise with, right? It has these big wooden handles on it. Anyway, he stretched it. I was sitting on the couch like that, and he stretched it all the way to the door of the room, and I realized, I was like, oh, shit, and he was just staring at me, and I thought it was like one of those moments where I could have a father and son lesson in trust and love, and I said, son, if I was to let go of my end of this thing, it most likely would take your head off. I said, at least knock you against the wall and, might hurt a little bit. And he was staring at me, and I said, but you know what? I'm not going to let go because I love you, and I want you to trust me. I'm your father. And about 3 or 4 seconds went by, you know what he did? He fucking let go, man. And boy, I'm telling you, that thing was, I don't know if you've ever been hit by a bungee that's been stretched 6, 9 or 10 feet from you, but it got me right in the side of the face. And I felt like I just got smacked by Marvin Hagler. And it literally knocked me over. I was like sitting on a hide-a-bed. And it dislocated my jaw, right? So, yeah, and he thought it was funny. I rolled over on the floor and I hit my face and I popped it back in, but then my face swelled up like a pumpkin on one side. But it was one of those moments,
Did you have any
taken out by a 5-year-old
trust speech with him after that? Like,
he was really sorry, and I knew that he was sorry, and I just hugged him and told him he's a good boy. What are you gonna do?
You're no corporal punishment with the children.
No, I got enough of that when I was a kid. I don't. I try to.
Sometimes that perpetuates the thing.
I want them to love me because I want them to listen to me because they love me, not because they're scared of me.
Yeah,
it's a different deal,
What was the most common form of discipline you when you were growing up?
No punch in the face.
Wow.
The most common form.
Yeah. Lights out, Mike. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. And wake up later and wonder what did I do to deserve that?
Well,
down the stairs.
Well, you seem like you were probably a pretty rambunctious kid and maybe a handful as a teen.
Well, later in life, I realized perhaps I had it coming a few times, but, I don't know. Those days are over.
You ever get in serious trouble, arrested, shit like that, when you were growing up?
I think that's probably what was irritating my father.
Oh, yeah, it's the punches.
I was constantly in trouble for some damn thing, one thing or another, but it was innocent back then.
Yeah?
Stealing cars and that kind of thing.
That's innocent.
Yeah, it's a felony.
Yeah, well.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately, I can't vote now because of that. But a lot of my friends, all my pals I grew up with, they're not here anymore. And so I guess I'm lucky. I made it and they didn't. And even recently, I lost Chris Penn.
Oh, yeah.
David Carradine, Dennis Hopper. All these guys were really like, you're not going to see the likes of people like that again. Really
no.
hard. You don't miss somebody like that until they're not around anymore, and then you go, oh my God Almighty, who am I going to talk to at 3 o'clock in the morning now? You know.
Did you knew Carradine? Did anybody like his? Then Hopper was old and he was sick, but Carradine kind of went in a really people would never have seen that one coming. Did you know that about him? Knowing him, was that like something he'd be open with his friends? Or?
I think if you're going to go out in some sort of sexual mystery in your 70s,
I don't even know if we're supposed to laugh. I
you
don't
know what
know.
I'm saying?
I don't want to get
It
punched.
doesn't get better than that.
It makes
right?
perfect sense.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it was a sexual mystery.
Yeah, well, no one's ever really going to know what happened. You know, it's like Kennedy or Marilyn Monroe. You know, what really happened? No one's going to know. And I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's very David to have done something like that.
Really?
Right? You know, I mean, what an exit.
Yeah, it's sort of like a...
That's a great way to put it. What an exit.
I'm leaving now, and this is what happened.
It's sort of like,
really
what's his name? Bob Crane. Was the same thing. Like, no one really knows what happened to him. He was
no one
beaten.
cares.
No one cares. But it was such a sordid thing. Like, you just thought of him as being dumb Hogan from Hogan's Heroes.
He got murdered by a
And then you find out, like, his skull was literally pulverized with a tripod.
Somebody was angry.
Yeah, someone was
He
mad.
didn't do it to himself, that's for sure.
No, it wasn't suicide.
Hit myself in the
Because he
head
used to
with a tripod.
film and videotape, like, his sexual exploits all the time.
Probably
He
fucked
was like
somebody's
a
wife and
dirty
videotaped
boy.
it.
That would be an interesting. They should put that on an adult channel somewhere.
Yeah. Watch Bob.
The Crane tapes. How come those never came out?
I don't know. Like, you would think there'd be a shitload of films and videos of Bob Crane just going at it.
Why do we go
Apparently he
past?
had a big hog.
Why do we go past the fact that he popped his own jaw in? We just like it. That's like a normal thing.
That did strike me as
If
really
it happened to-
uncomfortable, but I just like.
If it happened to any one of us, we'd be calling 911. We'd be at the hospital.
Michael Madsen.
He just
Well,
casually
he
said, "I
does stuff
popped
like
my
that.
jaw back in," and we're like, "Yeah, of course, that's what we would do if that happened to us."
She was trying to call the hospital.
Yeah.
In an ambulance or something, and I said, honey, no, in the name of God, don't do that. I don't need to be, filmed by someone. Madsen arrives in the hospital. I mean, honey.
Broken
God
jaw.
Almighty,
Oh, boy.
I can take care of this, honey. Please, don't panic.
Yeah, Danny points out you're talking to a man with motorcycles all over his shirt and skulls on his boots. So I'm not surprised
Yeah.
he popped his own jaw in. All right.
Exactly.
Good point.
I need to go shopping. My wardrobe is getting a bit tired. Honestly, I don't. My bags are all messed up, and I do need some nice clothes. I should have went to the Oscars. I might have got a free suit out of it.
Do you ride?
Gabbana. Sorry?
Do you ride bikes?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I have the bike from Hellride. You see that picture?
Oh, yeah. I know the one you talking about.
Dennis and David. And I got the gent bike. They built that bike for me for the movie, and then at the end of the thing, when they first gave me the bike,
Yeah.
it didn't. There it is, right there. Look at
cool.
that thing. Yeah, wow. That's an SNS bike. It's a shovel head motor on an SNS frame. You know that bike has no front brake.
You could tell there's like
I went to
nothing
when
really
I went to
there.
the
What
set on the
fuck?
first day. I said, "Where's my bike?" And they said, "Oh, it's in the truck." And they took it out, and I looked at it and I said, "You guys, there's no front brake." And oh, Jesus, you're right. And I said, "Well, how am I supposed to stop on a hill, up or downhill, hit a mark in a movie with no front brake?" I said, "I'm going to kill myself." And because of that last statement, the part about killing, I get a letter from the Weinstein Company telling me that if I ride that bike in the movie, they're not responsible for what happens to me. And, so I taught myself how to ride it without the front brake. And then they made a double of it, but it didn't look exactly the same. The back fender was different. And the front wheel looked different because now it had a great big disc on it. And so I said, listen, I already know how to ride this one, so I'm going to keep this one. And I'll sign the paper. I'll sign the death warrant, but I want to keep the bike.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So it was kind of a deal we made. And
Your life,
it's in my garage.
risking your life for the bike.
Yeah.
Pretty much what you did.
It's mine now, man. It's in the garage. I got the gent bike. None of all those items that'll be worth some dough when I kick off.
How much harder is it to stop? I don't know how to ride a motorcycle. How much harder is it to stop with no front brake?
Well, it depends on how fast you're going. Depends on what kind of surface you're on. And, you can usually glide into something with a foot brake and then eventually put your foot down. And just, you don't want to try to stop on a hill, man.
No.
It's a bit sketchy. But we were in Barstow, and there's a lot of flat. highways over there.
Gets a little squirrely on the back wheel.
It's a good bike. It's a great motorcycle picture. You know, the plot doesn't make much sense, but it's really fun to watch it. Can't understand what it's about, but it's really cool to watch it. Quentin Tarantino cut that thing. Thank God he saved it by editing it.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, apparently it was pretty hard to put it together, and did a couple passes on the editing, and then finally Quentin said, "Okay, now it's my turn." And he took all the footage and actually put it together really nicely.
Those are the most underrated guys in Hollywood, are the editors.
Sally Minky, too, yeah. She was on the, when they did the Memoriam thing last night, they showed Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cut me, good Lord, well, a lot of times. And,
yeah.
She was really wonderful. It's sad what happened to her.
It is amazing.
What happened to her?
She died hiking.
Yeah.
Oh, she was the one that died
up in
hiking.
Griffith
That's
Park
right.
somewhere.
That's right.
With her dog sitting next to her, hypothermia.
Yeah.
Good God. I used to hike in Griffith Park when I first went to Hollywood.
Why? Was it the thing to do? Get out and do some hiking?
I used to hike up to the observatory.
Oh, nice.
And I used to sit up on the roof up there and read scripts and look at the Hollywood sign if you could see it through the smog. And I don't know. I was very introspective in those days.
Thought it was like the thing to do, and
You know, I was a loner. I was here by myself. I was pumping gas in Union 76, and I had my Harley, and that was about it. And, you know, I didn't know where I was.
I just separate yourself from everybody else that has a script and is trying to get work out there and working at gas stations.
It took a while.
Yeah.
You know, it took a long while. I met a lot of people pumping gas. Fred Astaire came in on Christmas Eve. I remember he had a flat tire. And I met Peter Falk, Cicely Tyson, Warren Beatty, Jack Lemmon.
The gas station to the stars.
Jack Lemmon had this really old MG. And I met Don Knotts one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were any of them
girls.
cocks or no, they were all okay?
Huh?
Were any of them pricks or they were all okay?
I thought Warren Beatty was very bizarre. And then years later, he was supposed to play my brother in Kill Bill. Warren Beatty was the original Bill in Kill Bill.
Oh, really?
But him and Quentin just couldn't understand each other. Mm-hmm. So they decided to not work together. That's how David Carradine got in there. But everybody was pretty nice. I met Donald Sutherland came in one time. He was very bizarre. He's about 7 feet tall. But I had the guy that I worked for, his name was Ray, and I started getting episodic television shows. I got an episode of St. Elsewhere, and then I did an episode of Cagney and Lacey. And I went to, I said, look, I got a TV show, and I'm going to have to be off for, Tuesday and Wednesday. And he goes, listen, kid, let me tell you something. I was like, what? What is it? He goes, you better figure out what you want to do. Why didn't you tell us you were an actor when we hired you? And I said, well, I really didn't think I was qualified to say that. And he said, we need you around here, so you better make up your mind, son. What are you going to do? The chances of this continuing to happen are 1,000,000,000 to 1. I said, well, considering I'm making $2.50 an hour with you, man, I said, I think maybe I'll take a shot.
Take it.
After a few more shows, that was it.
I worked with Dice for a long toured with him, and he loves you. He would speak very, very frequently about your days on Crime Story together.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He's great. I probably would have seen him this weekend if I'd been in L.A. because I was supposed to do that thing at the Beverly Hills Hotel the night of 1,000 Forgotten. But I didn't make it.
What's that?
I'm just joking. It's a thing called.
How stupid am I?
No, it's a thing called Night of 100 Stars, and they do it at the Beverly Hills Hotel. It's like a viewing party, and it's very nice. And you see a lot of people like Mickey Rooney and Connie Stevens.
Holy shit.
Lou Ferrigno and
It's great.
Batman. And there'd be me and David Carradine sit there, why are we here? Then Dice would come over and sit down, and it would all become obvious and understandable. Now there goes Judd Nelson. Holy Jesus.
What would it be open to the public or?
Is that Scott Bale?
It's like Comic-Con.
My God almighty. Look at him.
Get real excited, Howie.
Tell him, Fred.
The Virus. Sirius-XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.